up? It's your girl Diva and welcome back to Diva's House. So it's time to check in for class, guys, and today we are talking sexy brows. Yes. We're talking brows, ladies. So stay tuned if you guys want to see how I create my sexy brows. Alright guys, so we're talking about brows today, and the first thing that I want to talk about is your brow shape. If it starts anywhere, goes past the edge of your nose, or if you angle out and your eyebrows are past the edge of that, they're overdone. The highest point of your brow comes at the end of the actual part of your eye where it's the color. So that's the end of mine. The highest point, of course, is right there. And let me just try to focus in with the mirror. So that's the end of my eye. That's the highest point of my brow. That's your arch area. And then you go out from the end of your nose, the end of your eye. That's where your brows should end. Now, in terms of over plucking or just, let's say, mishaps with your eyebrows, you're gonna want to try to groom your eyebrows in a sense, but wanting to fill those sparse areas where you may have over plucked or just had a ugly mishap with your brows. So it says, and I got this from online, of course I've been doing my research before I bring you guys these videos. Pick a brow pencil that is a lighter shade than your eyebrows. So ladies, if you are using black to do your brows, please stop. It's not flattering. Brows that are too dark look harsh and fake. So yes, your skin, your hairs look black, but if you honestly think about it, your hairs are not jet black or probably all black. It's more of a natural black. So in the best sense, go with a shade that's slightly lighter and fill in the spaces that are sparse lightly. You don't want to have a heavy hand when doing this. And then you can shade in the areas that are patchy, going with the way that the hairs go. So let's just say now you brush your hairs up. I kind of need my mirror for this. But we want to brush our hairs up and over, forming what our shape would be. Now, in order to fill, I would say brush your hairs up so you see if you have any sparse areas. Now, in my case, I really need to get my brows shaped up because it's been a while since I've had them waxed. Believe it or not, I haven't had them waxed since I went home in October. Good times right there. They've actually stood up pretty well. From there, once I fill in the spaces, of course I'm gonna brush back, but I wanna outline my brow area first and then fill in with the pencil, and then after that, well, what it says is this: you should fill in those patchy areas, trace your natural shape of your brow. The point is to shadow, not draw in your brows. So you're not, now if you have no tails at the end, like if your brows were just like this, understandable that you would now have to draw in the rest of that. But you want it to all look natural. I definitely do not suggest using a black pencil. Now, if you do use a black, I would say use an off black, but lightly, very, very lightly. Again, you want this to look natural. So let's dive into doing these brows. Alright guys, so if you haven't seen my brow tutorial, I will post a link to that below, but I'm going to do this again with you guys, and I'm going to be using these two products. I'm going to use a pencil for all those who use pencils on one of my brows, and on the other side I'm going to use my Anastasia Dip Brow on the other side for those who like to use like these type of gels and stuff like that. Now I really don't own any powders. I had one but I didn't like it. I think I tossed it. So I'm going to be working with these two, but if you use like a powder or wax or anything, definitely follow along with me. So of course I have my handy dandy spoolie brush, and I am going to be using, I thought I had an angled pen brush in here. I'm going to find one before I do that part, but let's start with the pencil. Alright, so of course I'm going to brush my brows, and I need a closer mirror because this one kind of blows sometimes, so let's I can, yeah, that doesn't work. Alright, so I got my handy dandy mirror. I'm going to take my pencil, and for me it always helps that my pencils are well sharpened when I do my brows. It doesn't help to have like a soft mushy brush. I can't even find any of my sharpeners. Hold on guys. Alright guys, so I found the sharpener. Psych. I'm still cleaning up and I'm still changing things around in the room, so it's like might have misplaced some things, but let's dive in. So with a light hand and a sharpened pencil, I'm gonna want to start here at the base of my eyebrow and lightly trace the outline of my brows. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from this point, the highest point of my brow. Then I'm going to come back down on the other end and lightly trace my tail. Then on the top, I'm going to do the same again. And connect that. Notice that ends right there. And you see the shape of my eyebrows starting to formulate. Now I just want to go back and kind of lightly shade in some of the areas that are a little sparse, especially here in the front. And I'm just slightly filling that last part of the tail out. And there we have it. It's not too dark and it's not too dramatic. I look like my brows. Now to kind of just disperse some of that product. So again, we don't want our brows to look harsh because then they look fake. Just take your spoolie brush and brush that out. Just a tad bit. And then if you feel like you need to go back, just take the there we go. And there we have brow number 1. Now let's go to our next side. Alright guys, so I did find an angled brush. I took it from one of my Sonia Kashuk sets. It's early guys. So I'm gonna go ahead with the dip brow. Same thing, and actually with the whole dip brow, you can either choose to outline with a pencil and then fill in with your dip brow, or if you have even the Anastasia dip, the pencils with the spoolie at the end, those are great too. I don't own one of those, but I've heard that they're actually really great. So let's just angle this a little bit differently. So again, I'm going to brush my brows. And I'm going to take my angled brush and I'm going to dip into my dip brow. Now this stuff you really don't need a lot of. So I got a little bit on the brush. You can barely see the product on there because you really don't need a lot. And I'm going to start by lightly tracing out my eyebrow here with that product. And you can already see the shape. Pretty much like the other one. And you want to make sure that your eyebrows are pretty much like the other one if possible. I know sometimes from over waxing or over plucking, you may lose the shape, and in all actuality, our bodies tend to be not the exact on either side. You will notice that maybe one arch is higher than the other, or something about something on your body may not be the same size as the other one. It's just, it is what it is. So now I'm going to lightly fill in, going with the grain of the hair. And then just take it and go, especially for me here in the front. Now I'm going to take my spoolie brush again. And there we have it. So for pretty much, my brows both look alike, but I used two different products. From Anastasia, I used the chocolate dip brow. And then for the pencil that I use is the Skinny Long Eye Pencil from J-Cat. And this is in dark brown. So they pretty much look pretty much the same. So remember, ladies, you want to use a light hand when doing your brows. Dark colors make your brows look harsh. Now, the key to having your brows looking so sharp and precise, concealer. And you want to go with this concealer almost a shade or two lighter than your foundation, the same way you would use to highlight underneath your eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take here we go. I'm going to take my NC 42 from MAC concealer, or if you're not a MAC person, a great concealer is this LA Girl Pro concealer, and I have that in Fawn. But this is a little bit thicker consistency that I like to use than the LA Girl Pro concealer, and I like to use that for my under eye highlight. So I'm just going to get some here on my brush. Handy dandy mirror. And now you want to clean up, so to speak, underneath. And just go right under, kind of where you traced your shape of your brow, but you want to go right under that and fill that in with concealer, and then just drag that out. Not only does this form as kind of like your brow bone highlight area, but it cleans up that look and makes your brows look sharper. And then, like, you don't want this to be too harsh, but of course with your makeup application you can blend this all out, and you just take your finger and blend it out. Now this next trick is to go above. I personally don't like that look. If anything, I'm going to take my natural foundation, but for the sake of the video today, I'm just going to use whatever is left on my brush and kind of chase that out and blend upwards. Why I don't like this look? Because I've seen many people who've done it and it gives their brows like this haloed effect, and I don't like it. So just make sure you try to blend that out best way possible. But the best case scenario is to use your foundation right above that. So we're going to go on the next side. I'm going to do that eye. It's just cleaning up, especially if you have like hairs there still. It kind of just cleans that up for you. And there we have it, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, sharp brows. Alright guys, so I'm going to get out of here. That's the end of today's brow tutorial lesson. I'm going to come back later on and beat this face up for you guys in a whole nother tutorial. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining me today. Y'all know what to do. Y'all stay fab, because you know your girl is too. I see you, Miss. Bye.